Welcome to this YouTube channel. Here we have seen, already we have seen one chapter, 10 Qurans. Now we are coming to the next second chapter, having in 10 Qurans. We are going to have the interpretation for all the 10 Qurans from 11 to 11th Quran, from 11 to 20th Quran. As descended from heaven, God has everlasting life, everlasting water. As descended from heaven, God has everlasting water. There in the first chapter, it is a praise of God. Here, the grace of heaven. Grace of heaven. The grace of heaven. Grace of heaven is very important. What is that? It is one sirapu in Tamil. Grace of heaven. It is translated grace of heaven. It is not the grace of rain. It is grace of heaven. So, as descended from heaven, God has everlasting water. It is translated this way. Why? It is exactly semantically, it is the right way to translate. Having it, all the 3 plus 2 words, 7 words translation, having the right syllables, complying with the couplet definition and Kural definition. These two grammars are used here. Using these two grammar definitions, I have translated this semantically, using all the meaning. Now, you come to this one. There is a song in Tamil, Onde Kulam endu paduvom, Oruvane Devan endu potruvom, Anbin idayamaga, Anbu vadivamaga, Vandu valigatta vananguvom. Kadavulil karunai kandom, karunayil kadavulai kandom. It goes on like this. What does it mean? One God, one humanity for one God. Let him come here as a mother and show us love. Shows love and way. We see grace in God and God in grace. This is what is explained in this song. So, remember this one and come to this one. John 4:40. John 4. In the Bible, there is a book called John. There in 4th chapter, you can find this one. There is a Samaritan lady coming to Jesus. Jesus is standing near a well and he comes to take well from the water. That lady, Samaritan lady, comes to take well from draw well from water. When he comes nigh to Jesus, Jesus asks for water. The lady is very hesitant. She is reluctant, but more than that, she is resistant. Why? Because Samaritans will not mingle with the Jews. Jesus being Jew. Jesus being a Jew, he is reluctant to give water to Jesus. Because Jews will not get water from Samaritans in a drink, because Jews think that they are inferior to them. But Jesus asked for water. Knowing that he is a Jew, she says, Lord, you are somebody, you are a Jew, why are you asking for water for me? Jesus replies, lady, know that he explains something about her history. So she gets shocked, astonished to know all this. How this man came to know about me, like this. And finally he says, I have water, living water. If you know that, if you already know that I have such a water that it will not give you any thirst hereafter, you will ask for that water more than this, and you hereafter do no more sin. Go, live, he says and goes. What is the meaning? Then this gets fulfilled on the cross. When he was crucified, the water the blood, that is a kind of water, he says. It's referred to water. It runs like, it fruits like water from the cross. And that water is being referred here in John 4:40. That is a water came from heaven for you. That love, that is a symbol of love. Why it's a symbol of love? Because you can understand, we can understand one thing from this. When he was on the cross, everybody battered him, crossed, nailed him. I mean, everybody crucified him. All such. Blood was oozing out of his body. Body was flowed like anything. All such happened. But despite all this, what he was saying, Lama Lama Sabachthani. That is, these 3 or 4 words he used to say. When he used these words, just before that, he said, Lord, they don't know what they are doing. They don't know what they are doing. Please forgive them the sins. This is what was said by Jesus. Such a love. That is what the song says. You come to the world and show us the way as a mother, and you become a love, embodiment of love. That is what is shown on the cross. I have not seen anybody showing that type of love on the cross, because he was crucified on the cross. Why? Because he was a judge. Judgment was given. That judgment said there is no sin, no crime. There is no crime seen on him. But in spite of his not committing any crime, he was handed over to be crucified. Have we seen anything like this in the history of mankind? No. We have not seen anything like that. Judgment was given in his favor, but he was crucified against the judgment given. He was crucified, and in the crucifixion, just before his death, he was beaten like anything. He was done what not, but everything was done to him, what not, everything. But still, something happened against. Something would have happened naturally. He would have become angry with those people. But he said, Lord, forgive them. This is the embodiment of love. This is what he said. So that water, the water refers to God. As a descendant from heaven, God has everlasting water. God has everlasting water that you can enjoy, irrespective of any caste, sect, and God is, if there is God, He is for everybody, for everyone. God is not the monopoly of anybody. He is not an exclusive property of anybody. He is for everyone. Everybody, God is for everybody. Everybody can enjoy the things given by God. And even that God is for everyone. He is not the monopoly of any sect, any religion, anybody. Even Valdavar has not given this Thirukkural for Tamils. He has not used the word Tamil in Thirukkural. He has not used any religion in Thirukkural. He has not used any country, any place in Thirukkural. Instead, he has used world in Kural. So you can find world throughout the world, for the world. So such a thing. That's why you can find the truth in it. Truth. Truth is for everybody. God is for everybody, everywhere in the world. God is not for the particular country, particular people, particular set of people, particular religion. He is for everybody. That's it. So He has done it. Everybody accepts that. So we understand something from this one, that water fluid like blood fluid like water, which was referred to by Jesus Christ earlier, is nothing but God Himself. So God Himself is the everlasting water which we have, and we have it for everlasting life. That's the meaning. Second Quran. Whoever drinks of Him will never hunger. That I have explained the first Quran itself. So if you start drinking, He says, if you drink it means that the blood is for you, and if you believe that it is for you, it is for you. That is what He said to Samaritan woman in John 4:40. And third, failing using heavenly water results unquenched hunger. It gives a hunger It doesn't say that it gives you some thirst. It gives a hunger. If you start, Valduvar is using that the same word for hunger, pasi. You use virinir, that means the water. If you don't use that water, you will have hunger instead of thirst. Valduvar himself is using it in Tamil, which is translated as hunger and heavenly water. So he says, if you don't use that heavenly water, you will have hunger. You will have hunger. And the fourth Kural says, receive abundant heavenly water, mindsets right. If you use that heavenly water, use it for your goodness, and you will have the correct mindset. You will have the correct attitude. I said, I have divided these Kurals into 16 headings, all 1330 Kurals in 133 chapters are divided under 16 headings. These chapters are coming in the first heading called attitudinal approach. So you understand this one. Mind sets free. Your attitude sets free. Right? Next one. Fifth Quran. Proper appropriation of water helps free distribution. You just appropriate that water. That means you understand about this one and you can give it free to others. That means you can tell what you have received. That you can do that. Next one, sixth one. If heaven does not care, no hopes grow. If God does not care about you, even hopes will not grow on this planet called Earth. So God is very important. Seventh one, even sea gets dried if heaven overlooks. If heaven overlooks, He doesn't care about. Even the ocean will get dried. Everything will get destroyed. Eighth, unless water properly used, worship goes waste. Unless water properly used, worship goes waste. For this, again, I refer to this one, Romans 12:1, where he says, worship. What is worship? You keep your body, organs of your body, holy, safe, intact. Keep as a sacrifice for God. You are the temple of God, and the Spirit of God is dwelling within you. 1 Corinthians 3:16 and 17 says. 16 and 17 says like that. If your body is the temple of God, if you keep all our organs intact and safe and holy, that is a proper worship, says Romans 12:1. So here what the Kural says, unless water properly used. Water means God's words. What means God's words? That is what is said in the first Kural itself. Second Kural explains about this. What I explained about the Jesus spoken words to the Samaritan lady, and the same water. And in First John first says, God came as a flesh, and He was crucified on the cross. That resembles. And everything is good for people. See, we follow so many medicinal aspects spoken of in Siddha, Ayurveda. All are spoken elsewhere. We accept it. We have to follow those things because it's spoken for us. And these words are spoken by one person who led a great and good life, who spoke that what he did and what he was doing for the humanity. And that's for everybody, apart from the religion, apart from any sect. So yeah, we cannot have anything if we are already prejudiced. We have to come out of the prejudiced mind, and then we have to think about. He is not the monopoly. Nobody is the monopoly. Nobody means no. God is the monopoly. No truth is a monopoly for anybody. It is for everybody. So unless water properly used, worship goes waste. Next Quran. Alms prayer not useful if grace fails. If God's grace fails, what will happen? whatever we do, whatever wrong we do to the poor, whatever prayer we do, will not help. In 10th Kural, water surrounds the earth. Water means rain, surrounds the earth. That means rain comes and flourishes the earth crops. The same way, heaven does man. The heavens water flourishes man. That we have to understand. This is the second chapter, and we can go to the next one. Thank you.